The topic that I chose to write my white paper on is Preserving Artist Rights in the Era of AI Image Generators by Sadie Sweat, Franklin University, English 220 Research Writing. Preserving Artist Rights in the Era of the AI Image Generators. Currently, there's over 15 billion digital works and counting that have been created by AI image generating software. And of those 15 billion, they're all copyright free without any restrictions for use being able to do what they want after they create them. The other issue that is arising is that these AI image generators are using artists' work for references and storing their art digitally in their database to use to create digital work using their software. But they're also encouraging, or had been encouraging, the use of artist names to invoke a style that artist uses. So in this white paper, I want to address what AI is and what the current copyright law is, the changes that we can make to it, addressing the law or giving the artist tools to fight back, and possibly working with AI with your images. What are AI image generators? AI image generators actually use a software called natural language processing model. And what that means is that it turns the words that are entered into the prompt into numbers and patterns. And once the software processes those numbers and patterns, it's then ran through its database of millions and thousands of images to find similar codes and references to that image to create the digital work. DALL-E is one of the more popular AI image generators, and it uses a thing called CLIP, Contraceptive Language Image Pre-training. What this means is that every image that's entered in its database has a specific caption that would be specific to that image. So if there was a bluebird on a branch, the caption would be something similar to that bluebird on a branch, and then stored into its database. So that way, when prompts are entered, those encodes will then run through that database to find captions that are similar to those words to try and create a digital work doing that. The next process is actually a little bit difficult to explain if you don't know what it is, but Gaussian noise is how AI image generators can create. It's basically a bunch of distorted pixels that are near no values or anything, and as the image pulls these pattern encodes, it will create a value that creates the image. The current copyright law states that AI generated images are copyright free. And the copyright is important because it protects original work from reproduction, derivative work, selling, and stuff like that. It gives the artist the tools to use their work how they want and have control over how it's being used. However, there is a thing with copyright that's called fair use, and fair use is the ability to use artist work without their permission. If it's for some of the following reasons, like commercial nature or nonprofit educational purposes, it would have to depend on how much of it's being copyrighted as a whole. There's a lot of technicalities that go into the ability to use free use, and AI image generators take advantage of that because they're stating that they are only using these images as references, and that is why that they are not charging for the digital works themselves, but charging for the service. So that way it can stay copyright free and they can still earn profit from it without charging for the actual images themselves. The impact on the artist. As of 2024, a report by Indeed stated that the United States loses about a little under $30 billion annually in the entertainment business due to piracy and AI, and a loss of over 500,000 jobs. This can cause motivation loss to continue researching and designing. In a recent report in 2024, they had taken for illustrators specifically, and they stated that over 1/3 of them had lost their jobs specifically due to AI. When you take a closer look at the Midjourney's website for rules and regulations and guidelines, nowhere on the website does it state anything about not being able to use copyrighted work or preventing the use of using artist's name. And at one point in 2023, the CEO of Midjourney announced publicly that a new style for Midjourney will include users to enter over 4,000 artists' name and the use of being able to type in more famous artists like Andy Warhol. And in the next slide, I'll show you exactly the results of that. So in this side, the top is the original work of Andy Warhol, and in the bottom slide is one that was prompted in DreamUp, and you can see that they have a lot of the similar styling, and AI is allowed to use this because it is stated that it's using reference work no matter how similar that it is to the actual artist. We've heard a lot about what AI is and how it works, and what copywriting is and how artists are affected. Let's hear about how we can give them tools. One of the things that we can do is look at activism and legal reforms. Artists can be talking to their legislatives, looking at passing, bills, bringing awareness to how AI is working and what they're using. You can rally support and gather resources to build a community to take a stand against how their art or work is being used. And a more direct or instant result would be using programs like Nightshade, which is an offensive program that would poison AI generators from the inside by giving them a digital work that would mess with the coding and paths that that program has, preventing it from being able to create other pieces of work. Or using a software like Glaze, which is more on the defensive side, which just creates a shield around your work that just distorts what it looks like, so AI cannot pull it or use that style. There's a possibility of using watermarks, even if that's the least effective. And another option is taking a look at working with AI. If AI software companies could come to the acknowledgement that they should not be using artists' work without their permission or their names, that could be the first step in the right direction into building relationships where, there could be codes on digital works that if it's ran through a software program a certain amount of times, that there's royalties that should be given to that artist, or if their names are entered a certain percentage that they could get money from that as well, or whatever agreement that they could come up to. But the biggest thing that it comes down to is that there needs to be some type of bridge between the AI and artist. In conclusion, AI is not going anywhere, and neither are artists. AI cannot create data on its own. It uses the data that it has learned, and that data came from us. It came from humans, it came from artists, and it will continue to need artists for more data. And there's a possibility that we could work together, that there could be a relationship between the two if, both sides can come to some sort of agreement. Or artists can take the fight into their hands and prevent their work from being used at all. Or, we could look at, different ways of how AI can be used or implemented. There's a lot of solutions that can happen, or a lot of positive things that an artist can do to take back their artwork and protect their name from AI.